Who is Jussie Smollett? For some, Smollett is best known for his role in a 1992 family comedy called The Mighty Ducks, but for others, he is a D-list actor responsible for numerous different Hollywood appearances, ranging from Alien Covenant all the way to music videos such as Mariah Carey's Infinity. The pinnacle of his career, arguably, was a main stage casting in Empire, a popular TV musical drama in which Smollett played a character named Jamal. Smollett, by any reasonable standard here, was a moderately successful Hollywood actor who had appeared in over 30 different films, television series adaptations, and music videos during the course of his long career, but all of that was about to come crashing down around him. This is the Ballad of Jussie Smollett. January 22nd, 2019. Smollett receives a letter postmarked for Fox Studios. This letter contains white powder and is composed of cut-out magazine letters which spell out threatening and hateful words. In response, confirmed by the network to People magazine, Fox Studios tightened their protection measures all around and beefed up security. 7 days later, January 29th, 2019, Jussie Smollett is attacked in downtown Chicago, and articles begin to ping all across the internet. Titles like Jussie Smollett received chilling hate mail 8 days before racist attack. Jussie Smollett says he's okay after attack. My body is strong, but my soul is stronger. Or Empire star Jussie Smollett attacked in Chicago by men hurling homophobic and racial slurs. Nearly every single major gossip and news publication in America covered these events, because in a period of time where relative tension in the United States was already at or near its maximum, this was a viral story. When detailing the attack, Smollett described several key factors. 2 men in downtown Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning attacked him wearing MAGA hats. They hurled racial epithets, placed what appeared to be a noose around his neck, shouted, "This is MAGA country," and poured an unknown liquid on him. Later on that morning, when police arrived in his apartment, Smollett was recorded saying the following.
There's bleach on me. Bleach on me. Okay. You're filming us, right?
Yeah, this is all being.
If you want, if it's in his house,
They're filming you.
you're being audio and
Like audio. I guess when I mean, they didn't know when they were walking into the house. Okay, so can we turn it off?
yeah, you're giving us permission to shut it off.
When asked, "Do you want to take it off?" by an officer, his response was, "Yes, I just wanted y'all to see it." And when later informed that they were recording video as well as capturing audio, he says, "I don't want to be filmed." This would indicate, judging by the timestamp from the police footage, that Smollett was attacked and then either continued to wear the rope around his neck for a period of 6 hours, or took it off only to drape it there once again when police arrived, purely for theatrical effect. Downtown Chicago, more specifically Cook County, is overwhelmingly liberal. The percentage breakdown is roughly 3-1, or 75% versus 25%, in favor of Democratic or left-leaning voters. Conservative representation here, let alone vocal MAGA representation, was extremely low, and this would seem to indicate that the attack was either a harrowing reminder of how nowhere is safe, or something to be rather skeptical of. In the days following this attack, media and community support for Jussie Smollett absolutely exploded. While some people were more skeptical of his story, they were few and far between. Others were wholeheartedly throwing their support behind him. Even politicians like Cory Booker and Kamala Harris came out with lockstep rhetoric calling the events a modern-day lynching, verbatim, both of them. And in the case of Cory Booker, leaning directly into a call for action concerning his and Kamala Harris's anti-lynching legislation that had been unanimously passed in the Senate just 15 days prior. Jussie Smollett was rapidly becoming a lightning rod. From TV interviews to emotional speeches at concerts where he claimed that he would not allow his attackers to win, the lackluster career of this D-list actor was front and center on a national stage with a very, very large spotlight on all of his actions. Midway through February of 2019, about 3 weeks after the initial assault, police are still investigating and even processing suspects at that point. when they take 2 men from Nigeria into custody on suspicion of assault. These men were later cleared of those charges, but as the sympathy and support came pouring down on Mr. Smollett, detectives were hard at work behind the scenes. February 17th, 2019 is the day that everything changes. Chicago PD, reported by AP News, announces that the trajectory of their investigation has dramatically shifted, following information gleaned from 2 prior suspects, brothers from Nigeria. They also request a follow-up interview with Jussie Smollett because they've discovered new evidence and received new testimony that requires additional questioning. 2 days later, February 19th, 2019, Cook County Prosecutor Kim Fox recuses herself from the case after it is acknowledged that she had conversations with Smollett's own relatives, acting as a go-between for family members and the police department. The investigation is formally handed over to her second-in-command, named Joseph Magotz. Kim Fox would later claim that a pervasive rumor in the Chicago Police Department was the true reason for her recusal, stating that this racist rumor alleged a direct relation, either familial or familiar, between her and Jussie Smollett himself. Whatever the reason, a report later done by Special Prosecutor Dan K. Webb would find that there were, quote, abuses of discretion in the way the case was handled, and that there were potential violations of ethics by Fox and her staff. February 20th, 1 day after Kim Fox recuses herself, charges are officially brought against Jussie Smollett himself, alleging that he staged the attack as a way to stave off a potential firing from the Empire TV show. The 2 brothers brought in on suspicion of assault were actually former members of Empire staff who worked on set. These brothers had claimed, backed up by GPS and video surveillance footage, that Smollett had picked them up, paid them $3,500 for supplies, driven around town discussing how the events would unfold, and then conducted a dry run of the assault itself, which was fully and completely staged. Public opinion at this point was beginning to sour to a threshold of probably no return. Smollett was now viewed by the public as a liar and a cheat. False police reports, fake allegations of a hate crime, and dishonesty of the highest order, but things were not nearly finished in that category. On March 26, 2019, about 1 month later, Smollett's attorney announces that charges have spontaneously been dropped. This is what resulted in a special investigation by Dan K. Webb, finding potential violations of ethics as well as abuses of discretion on the part of Chicago prosecutor Kim Fox and her staff. What followed, though it may have seemed like Jussie Smollett was out of the woods, he was not, was a complete and total destruction of Smollett's narrative. Charges were once again filed. Smollett was taken to task over the cost of the investigation itself. Thousands of documents were publicly released which detailed precisely what had happened as per the findings of Chicago PD, and even the brothers who had been complicit up till then in these events turned on him, filing their own defamation lawsuit in response to his many outbursts. The original letter, containing white powder and various threats, simply a poor attempt at mimicking ricin, a lethal agent sometimes mailed in envelopes for nefarious purposes. It was really just ground up Tylenol, and the magazine letters, as well as the stamps, presumably matched pieces of evidence, a magazine and a stamp book, gathered directly from Smollett's own apartment by the police. On November 29, 2021, Jussie Smollett is brought to trial. 7 days later, December 6th, he testifies in his own defense, a risky move in any trial. And 3 days later, December 9th, 2021, Smollett is convicted on 5 counts of disorderly conduct. March 10th, 2022, Smollett is sentenced to 150 days in jail for lying about a hate crime that he had orchestrated himself during a period of heightened racial tension in the United States. He's also ordered to pay $120,000 in restitution and given a $25,000 fine. When convicted, Smollett has one final bizarre outburst. Repeatedly claiming, "I am not suicidal," he says multiple times that if anything happens to him in jail, people need to know. He maintained his innocence and is finally, after a long overdue battle with preferential treatment, faulty prosecution, lies, deception, and media infatuation, escorted from the room, guilty of having manufactured a hate crime against himself, and on track for his time behind bars. Smollett is now a word synonymous with stupid and liar. Jussie Smollett single-handedly created an entirely new way to describe false accusations in America. In his quest for attention, whether it be desperate as a way to stave off a potential firing or narcissistic, believing that he was doing something good for humanity by faking such a crime, Jussie Smollett destroyed his own career in one fell swoop, becoming a national symbol of the worst possible personality traits one could have, and a blistering mark on the faces of media and politicians alike who supported him in the process. From a D-list actor famous for certain specific roles to incarcerated felon after a roller coaster of public attention and media fame, Jussie Smollett is a flash in the pan for all the wrong reasons. That's it. If you want support, check out the links down below and let me know if this type of video is appealing to you, because it was honestly fun to make and I'm not opposed to making more. That's it though. Have a nice night.